and welcome to Football League tonight. League One and League Two have kept the competitive football flag flying over Easter.
We are joined tonight by the manager who's orchestrated a stunning turnaround in fortunes at League Two Yeovil. Darren is here to tell us how he's done it and cast his eye over the day's football. Here's what's coming up.
What's on Wigan's shopping list? Automatic promotion and an immediate return to the Championship. They were out to collect reward points against the Rochdale side on the rise.
Dicted towards Grigg, just out of his reach.
League One top dogs Burton were at playoff chasing Millwall. Was there an upset brewing at the Den?
And it's all change in League Two for Bristol Rovers and Plymouth as the Pilgrims sail back into the automatic promotion places.
Right, let's get going. We'll start with the team in second place in Sky Bet League One. Wigan were just 4 points behind the leaders Burton after round one of the Easter weekend double-header.
Boss Gary Caldwell said his team delivered a near-perfect performance in their demolition of Swindon on Friday night. They'd have to be at their very best again today as they hosted Keith Hill's Rochdale, who'd won 6 out of 7 to move just outside the playoff spots. Commentary comes from Paul Walker.
Power, turning it wide to Wabara. Three in the middle to aim at here. It's low, and it's found Viltshut. It's Viltshut! Great block, Easton. They're appealing for a handball. Viltshut is saying that to Mark Brown right now, but it will only be a corner. Tries to steady himself here, Viltshut. I think it does hit the arm of Easton. You do see those given as penalties. Not on this occasion. Corner Wigan. Floated in very deep. It's beyond Morgan on the edge of the D. Now Morsey will have another crack here. Beaten away. And there's a flag on Viltshut as he tries to pick up the rebound. That's a vicious strike from Sam Morsey. Gets it off the ground. And too hot to handle for Lillis. Now Viltshut is away down the left and Lillis smartly off his line to gather it. It is more evenly balanced now. Deary me, that was a crunching challenge initially from Pearce, and Henderson didn't take too kindly to it. Just boiling over for a second here, and Mark Brown has to step in to sort them out. See what action he now takes. Gary Caldwell just having a word in the fourth official's ear. It is a red card. Well, Ian Henderson is shown straight red. And it is only yellow for Jason Pearce. Well, Pearce comes in with the challenge, doesn't get the ball. Just look at the reaction from Henderson, who kicks out, and that's why he has got red. Rafferty getting challenged by Warnock. Viltshut is away from Easton. The Dutchman goes into the area, still he goes. It'll drop here towards Colclough. And now Power. Ricochets through to Lillis. Well, Rochdale got bodies in and around that area to make life difficult. Viltshut showing his strength here. All hands to the pump there for Rochdale to keep Wigan at bay. Little trip off the ball on Colclough, but Perkins carries on. Dinked in towards Grigg, just out of his reach. Exactly the kind of ball that he loves to thrive off, Will Grigg. Delicious cross. Grigg on the stretch, unable to make contact. Perkins, Grigg, Vukic, lovely flick, it's Max Power, he's in! Terrific save from the goalkeeper Lillis. Grigg trying to keep it moving and losing out. Excellent save from Rochdale's goalkeeper to deny Max Power though. Vukic, he's made a real difference since coming on. Here is McElhenney, another one who's had a bright impact, and now it's Grigg. He'll drop here for Vilchat! Off the woodwork! Vukic pulling it back, Vilchat! Oh, Lillis, what a stop! Smuggled over the line! And Wigan at last have the breakthrough! It's been a long, long time in coming, but Conor McAleny has bundled the ball over the line, and the Latics are ecstatic! They've been banging on the door, and Rochdale have held them at bay until now. Josh Lillis, hugely unfortunate. He pulled off a couple of great saves in the build-up here, but Vukic pulls it back. There's the first one, and Lillis tries to get there and just hasn't got enough to prevent it from going over the line. And Conor McAleny bundles it over, and Wigan have a priceless lead in this one. I'm not sure how much contact he actually makes on that, but he's certainly claiming it. Wigan 1, Rochdale 0. A chance here for the substitute to make an immediate impact. Joe Bunny has gone for the corner. He's saying his shirt was pulled. He's not interested, Mark Brown. It looks like he was being tugged back there. Nothing doing. In goes the corner. Holt there, and just heads it wide of the target. I've seen him score from these positions many, many times before, Grant Holtz. And Morgan in front of him just did enough to put him off. And Wigan come again. Lovely ball. McAleny in the clear and fires it straight at the goalkeeper. It's Vukic on the second one. Harris Vukic is pulled wide, and it goes off Canavan and behind for the corner. McAleny shooting straight at the goalkeeper. Vukic on the follow-up. Tries to cut it back across goal. Launched right into the heart of the box. Allen keeping it alive. And looking for a shove in the area. Referee again not bothered. Now Bunny trying to get clear of Perkins. It'll be a corner. Big roar from the Rochdale supporters. Now was there a push in here? There's a definite shout for one.
The challenge from behind by Pearce, it's a straight red. It's a straight red offence, and you know, if the fourth official's seen Ian Henderson do something, he must have seen the challenge as well.
I thought I could sort of get the ball and get him, and sort of went through it. Probably wasn't the best challenge, but obviously his reaction wasn't the best, and he got sent off with it.
Did you feel fortunate to get away with just a yellow?
Oh yeah, I knew it wasn't a red card. I thought it may not have been a yellow, but speaking to the lads in there, said it probably was a yellow. But you know, I'd walked away from the situation because I didn't want to get stuck up in it. So it was all right.
Well, Darren, look, 18 games unbeaten for Wigan. They were very lucky that they were playing against 10 men today, and they did eventually go on to get the win. The red card, obviously, a crucial point in that game. We've heard the whole range of the rainbow there, from a red card to not even a yellow card. Let's take a look at it, and let's think about what do you think?
I think it's a real tenacious tackle from Pearce. He's coming from behind, and I know Ian Henderson really well, and he's a tenacious player. And but there's no margin for error now with retaliation, and we had the same last week with one of our players. Got pinched around the neck and tried to push a player away, and it's a straight red, and it's unfortunate, and I do feel sorry because I know Keith would be disappointed, but you know, you can't retaliate nowadays. So a yellow for the initial challenge and a red for the retaliation. Do you think that's about right from the referee? Yeah, I think, but having said that, when you slow that down, Pearce's tackle was very aggressive and tenacious, and that's what's caused the retaliation there. And then Wigan went on to get the goal. Later on, we'll have the Goal of the Year competition. I don't think this is going to qualify for 2016. I mean, it's not pretty, but it was certainly effective. Yeah, I mean, you can see every Wigan player there. They're all anticipating, and there's a couple of Rochdale players there caught ball watching.
This angle, for me, it's an OG. What do you think?
Is that going to be credited to Ashley Easton as an own goal? I think both would be disappointed, whoever gets it.
Yeah, good point. Very good point.
It's an excellent point. Now, of course, at half-time, sorry, when the substitution was made, now the substitute came on with a note which he tried to show round. So Vukic goes around and tries to show the rest of the Wigan players a message from the managers. Have you ever seen anything like this before? And certainly not, I mean, it ends up eventually with Max Power, who disposes of it in quite an interesting way.
Where's this going to go?
Have you ever seen anything like this before?
I think looking at it now, you could perceive it in a different way. I think the managers told them that if they win the game, they all get 3 days off.
That's the message that they were put in front. But it's an interesting way, you know, of communicating what you want from the players. It's difficult to get your thoughts across, though, from the technical area, isn't it?
It is when a player's having a bad game. 9 times out of 10, when you're giving them clear information, they end up making out they're not listening. But you can see there they've definitely got the point across. Absolutely, and Wigan take all 3 points. Now, stay with us, because there's plenty more to come on Football League tonight. There's a big test of bottle at the top of League One as Millwall host Burton.
Welcome back to Football League tonight. Our next destination in Sky Bet League One is the Den, where this evening Millwall hosted the leaders Burton, who went into this knowing that Wigan had closed the gap to within a point.
Defeat at Bradford on Saturday may have dented Millwall's automatic promotion hopes, but they're still very much in the playoff mix. Commentary comes from Danny Higginbottom and Daniel Mann.
Millwall seem to have got it cracked. 10 points from their last 4 games here without conceding a goal. And they certainly got the hostile edge back to the atmosphere here against Sheffield United last week. They are a force to be reckoned with at home again. Butcher's found a pocket of space. Oh, and teed up for Duffy in the first save of the night, produced by Jordan Archer.
Duffy, the quality that he's got, he's put it straight down to the keeper, and it's a simple enough save for Archer.
Gregory giving chase here. Hasn't got much in the way of support. But O'Brien's arrived! And taken full advantage! You have to say it's against the grain of the game, but it's a crucial Millwall lead.
This is far too easy. It's one long, hopeful ball. And look how high that Burton line is. It's far too high. Gregory's able to get in behind him. He takes his time now and plays a lovely ball in. But what an outstanding finish that is from O'Brien. McLaughlin has absolutely no chance of saving that one. Fantastic finish from O'Brien.
Aidan O'Brien. Oh, Jordan Archer taking a chance. Naylor in close attendance. Captured some attention for one unorthodox headed save from one of his teammates earlier in the season. And the fact that he's claimed the shirt from an established international goalkeeper in David Ford tells you all you need to know. Ford away with the Republic of Ireland. Well, they could be exposed again, Burton. It's Gregory this time. Never a doubt once he got in that position. And it's turning into a terrific night for Millwall.
You just have to look at how high the players are for Burton Albion. There's so much room in behind them, and Gregory's absolutely loving it. He will not believe the time and space he's had to put the ball into the back of the net.
Well, as soon as he got it, never mind when he got round the keeper, he was going to finish it off. It's goal number 23 for Lee Gregory this season. Williams, unlike him, took his eye off it. He'll get it back. Oh, and Gregory making an interesting dart potentially in behind, and there was a shout, at least from behind the goal, for hands there against Flanagan.
And Gregory's gotten himself in a great position in between the two centre-backs again. You can see the ball does hit Flanagan's arm.
Marlon Romeo, another son of a famous father, Jazzy B from Soul to Soul, if you remember way back. But it's Burton Albion are hoping to get back to life in this second half.
A set piece in a position of promise for Millwall. Indeed, pretty much any set piece is. Well, missing the left footer Shane Ferguson, who's in action with Northern Ireland tonight. But Williams provides it. Morrison! Oh! Well, he ended up in the net, but the ball did not. Morrison gets up brilliantly. You just see, I think it's O'Brien. Just can't stretch himself enough. It's Gregory in perhaps to finish it off. He was knocked off balance. Tried to keep going, but couldn't. Well, you can see he catches him and it's outside the box. And the thing is, in these situations, for me, the referee should pull that back. Need Gregory punished for just trying to keep going. Well, it's not been a happy Easter so far. They've got to produce something pretty special to put a smile on his face again. Oh, and Edwards under pressure, wanted a foul, and Thompson could be in here. Can he finish it off? Not this time. Well, Burton were desperate for a free kick in the build-up to that. Yeah, you can see his little push. It's just stretching from Thompson. He can't get any power in behind it.
I asked my team for character, desire, and I asked them for a proper Millwall performance to follow up from what we played against Sheffield United and Blackpool, and I certainly got that.
We don't get carried away either way. We don't get carried away for 6 points, 7 points clear at the top, or if people appear to be gaining ground on us. We've got a big game now at home to Bury on Saturday. That one's gone, and all we need to do is get 3 points Saturday.
Yeah, that's 19 league wins now for Millwall. They had 20 combined in the previous 2 seasons. Very important they got an immediate response after that defeat at the weekend.
You can see that Neil's got them playing really well, aggressive, looking to exploit the space in behind the Burton back four. I mean, it's a fantastic run there. And but what
high defensive line, both goals.
Yeah, it is. And but what you see is O'Brien's run. Burton's not tracked that, and it was very costly. I mean, the composure from Gregory in the box and the way to pass here, you know, just so he can finish it first time is fantastic.
That's a fabulous finish. What did you make of this one? Does the goalkeeper make it easier here for the striker?
It is, but the way to pass and the timing of the run is absolutely spot on. I mean, that ball just sets it up, you know, just to nip it round the goalkeeper, and, you know, he's finished that very well.
A word on Burton. No goals, just the 1 point. Not a great weekend, and suddenly that cushion, that buffer at the top's gone.
Nigel's a fantastic manager, and he'll know how to get a response out of his players, and he's got a wealth of experience, and I'm sure he'll be looking for a result and a real good positive reaction in the next game.
Still just about sitting pretty, though, Burton, and there are some more promotion contenders to bring you just now. Just 1 win in 6 has seen Gillingham fall off the pace in the battle to get into the automatic places.
Well, today they went to Bury, who hadn't won themselves in their last 4.
Without a win on the road in 2016, Gillingham needed victory at Bury to help cement at least a playoff place. And there was a change in fortune in store for the Gills. This ricocheting ball falling nicely for Luke Norris, who nabbed his 2nd goal of the holiday weekend. Bury weren't looking quite so sharp. Ryan Lowe unable to turn this effort goalwards. The last time Gillingham won at Bury, they had Tony Cascarino in their side. Ryan Jackson wasn't even born then, but he almost sealed the points here. Goalkeeper Chris Neal kept Bury in it. But at the other end, Brennan Dickinson stopped them from grabbing a point. Bury winless in 5 now. I'm glad they already have 50 points on the board.
Barnsley's surge up the League One table has owed much to their away form, with just 1 defeat on the road since November. They struck early at Vale Park, 9 minutes gone when skipper Conor Hourahan's ball into the box turned into his first goal in 9 games. Having failed to deal with that, Port Vale slowly got to grips with a game they had to get something from to keep their own playoff hopes on track. AJ Leach-Smith tested Adam Davis once in the first half, but unfortunately for him, not twice. The striker's failure to make the most of his chances rather set the trend for Vale, and Barnsley's much more occasional threat looked likelier to deliver the goods. Adam Hamill inches away from making a 4th successive away win much more comfortable. The miss wasn't costly because Port Vale's radar remained awry, although they certainly kept trying. Richard Duffy steered Sam Foley's cross wide as Barnsley's thoughts turned perhaps to next Sunday's Football League trophy final at Wembley. The Tykes may yet be back at HQ in May, but Carl Dickinson's miss in the dying seconds suggests that Port Vale probably won't be.
Crewe's 4-year stint in League One is looking rather precarious. When you're in the mire, you'll take all the gifts that are presented to you, like this one from Bradford's Christopher Rutis, though Laurie Dalla Valle wasn't feeling profitable. The Bantams were in the bottom half of League One in January, but they're now asking serious questions from those around them in the top 6. Billy Clark first heading wide, before Stephen Darby flashed another effort just past Ben Garrett's right post. But Route 1 was the Railwaymen's ultimate undoing. Some bright sunshine seemingly catching out the aptly named George Ray as Jamie Proctor scored the solitary goal of the game. Charlie Kirk's late air kick just about summed up Alex's season.
Now, down at the bottom of League One, Doncaster manager Darren Ferguson labelled his side's defeat at Colchester on Friday embarrassing and shambolic.
It left Rovers 3rd bottom, and today they had another big relegation encounter against Blackpool, who were just outside the bottom 4.
On show at the Keep Moat, 2 teams desperate for a change of luck, but if anything, Doncaster's got worse. The penalty shout for handball by Luke Hyam waved away by well-placed referee Keith Hill. Blackpool had won once in 2 months, Doncaster not at all in almost 3, so the air of mutual panic wasn't surprising. Craig Alcock held his nerve long enough to keep out David Norris's header. Darren Ferguson had demanded a response after Friday's embarrassment in Essex, and it finally arrived. Tommy Rowe's strike deflected by Norris onto the crossbar, but not over the line. So no change of fortune for Ferguson's men, and with 3 minutes remaining, the same old problems. Mitchell Lund beaten too easily by Mark Cullen, whose shot deflected off Andy Butler and over the helpless Remy Matthews. Blackpool a little closer to safety, Ferguson not embarrassed this time, but cursing his luck.
They may have the worst home record in League One, but under John Sheridan, Oldham have had just 2 defeats in their last 11. They're up against the side Sheridan led to the League Two title. Curtis Main unable to beat the Chesterfield keeper. Danny Wilson pointed to poor decision-making in the final third in this match. 0 shots on target from the Spyrites didn't help either, and if they were to keep a clean sheet, they'd have been indebted to Jonathan Fort, spurning a seemingly straightforward chance. But Oldham's revival under Sheridan was back on when second-half substitute Mike Jones created a goal from a less than promising position. His first since January. The Latics remain in the bottom 4, but just goal difference separates them from safety.
With Scunthorpe unbeaten in 6 before Graham Alexander even took the job, there was always the chance the new boss would be the catalyst for something special. Connor Townsend's goal had the eye on the head against Swindon, who capitulated in some style here. There was an epic quality to the Robins' failure. Jordan Clark had the decency not to laud it too much after this one. There was no shortage of celebrations from Hakeeb Abdullah-Khoun though. A good move and a tidy finish on his first league start since August was an occasion well worthy of acrobatics. The teenager then claimed the assist for Scunny's next 2 goals, although Swindon also played their part. Rafael Rossi Branco hesitant in defence, allowing Tom Hopper to make it 4-0 with well over half an hour still to play. Manager Luke Williams could only apologise to Robins fans after the game. They've seen Swindon ship 10 goals this weekend, and you thought your Easter was rubbish. Paddy Madden made it 5 for Scunthorpe, who are now only 6 points short of the playoff places. Could they be the side that enjoys a perfectly timed run of form this year? There's always one. Hopper's second goal of the afternoon made it 6 for Scunny, confirming their biggest league win in 14.5 years.
Right, here's the table at the wrong end. Crewe stay a point behind Colchester, who didn't play today. Doncaster, 7 defeats in a row. They find themselves 4 points below Oldham, and it's only goal difference keeping Fleetwood out of the relegation places.
At the other end, Burton are just a point clear at the top now, while Wigan have taken full advantage of Walsall not playing this weekend by opening up a 6-point gap on the Saddlers. Gillingham stay 4th, and Millwall's win tonight sees them move back to 5th.
Darren, Graham Alexander is getting the job done at the moment. A goalless draw, and as we heard there, 6-0, their biggest league win since 2001.
I think your first impressions as a manager is very important, and he certainly set his mark, and the players should have a real belief, and there's a real belief to win football matches in that dressing room now.
Doncaster is a fascinating one. I don't know what your take was on what Darren Ferguson said and what the psychology is behind it, but some of his comments, possibly the worst half hour of football I've seen. I'm not defending that nonsense. What is the psychology of publicly coming out and condemning your players like that?
I think Darren would have his reasons, and like any manager, you know, you say things to get a reaction, and you know, he would have witnessed what he had seen, and he's got a wealth of experience to know why he's saying what he's saying.
Do you have to be careful? Is it a gamble coming out and doing that? What if they now lose again and he loses the players?
I think he would have weighed up his options, and he's, again, as I said, it goes back to the experience, and he would have said that for a reason.
Right then, time now for your chance to vote. This is the Football League's Mitre Goal of the Year competition.
The best goals from 2015 have been whittled down to 10 contenders, and your votes will see the top 5 go forward to the Football League Awards next month, when the winner will be decided. And here they are.
Yep, there's the website. You need to get your vote in soon. It's a tough call as well, some absolute crackers. Right, on the way next, a strike that peps up Carlisle's League Two playoff hopes. But will Stacey's peach puncture the Pirates' automatic promotion push? Welcome back to Football League Tonight. There's still A long way to go before we know who's going to be contesting the playoff finals at Wembley at the end of May, but here's your chance to book your place in our competition.
We're giving you the chance to win tickets to this season's Sky Bet Football League playoff finals at Wembley Stadium. You and 3 mates could be heading to either the Championship, League One or League Two playoff finals on the 28th, 29th or 30th of May. The choice is yours. And that's not all. We'll include a pre-match tour of Wembley Stadium and £500 towards travel and expenses for the day, courtesy of Breed Sport. So for your chance to win, simply text FINAL to 65515 or post your name and phone number to FINAL, PO Box 7557, Derby DE1 0NP. Entrance must be 18 or over. Text costs £1.50 plus 1 message at standard network rate. Lines close at midday on the date shown on screen and 3 days later for postal entries. For rules, go to channel5.com/win. Good luck.
Right, let's have a look at Sky Bet League 2 next. And heading into today's fixtures, Northampton needed just 8 more points from 8 matches to guarantee promotion, and it might be less than that if other results go for them.
Today they went to Mansfield, who'd lost 4 out of the last 5 to fall off the pace in the hunt for the playoff places.
Easter tends to be a good weekend if you fancy a stag party, and Mansfield's Matt Green was clearly in the mood. The league leader's cage firmly rattled. And if it worked from the right, why not try it from the left? 4 minutes later, another free kick, another piece of aerial dominance from Green. But here's the moment the game changed. Jamie Maguire, having already been booked, then sent the legs of John Marquis flailing. And that was enough to ensure the hosts had a second half to negotiate with a 2-goal advantage that depleted resistance. Never a good idea when you're facing a side who'd won 10 of their previous 11 away games. Ricky Holmes delivered a warning sign that perhaps should have been heeded. Northampton are planning celebrations of their own in the weeks ahead, and their haste to get that done sooner rather than later was clear as James Collins was bundled over and Holmes began the almost preordained comeback. The equaliser from Marquis was hardly a thing of beauty, in stark contrast really to the Cobblers' season, as they could now be promoted as soon as Saturday.
A match with all the excitement of the boat race. Unlike that contest, this fixture has got a few draws in its history. James Spencer's effort was as close as either side came here. Oxford were tired and missing key players. Chris Maguire had their best chance. Cambridge were just as rudderless, although Luke Berry had this penalty appeal waved away. Back-to-back draws have seen Oxford start to lose their grip on second place. Any more, and they could be up the creek without a paddle.
A sensational march so far for Bristol Rovers with a 100% record, aiming for their 7th straight win, which is why that wasn't in the script. Jack Stacey scoring his first goal for Carlisle. Midway through the first half, Darrell Clark made a double change, including bringing on Jermaine Easter. His flick helped Billy Bowden, who's thankful for Easter, 2 goals on Good Friday and 1 here. Early in the second half, Carlisle were back in front. Charlie Wyke profiting from indecision in the Rovers' defence to score his 3rd in 4 games. Carlisle looking for their first win in more than a month. Rovers last lost away at the end of February and have won every match since. So who better to bring you back than top scorer Matty Taylor? He's had a starring role in their magnificent march with 8 goals. Carlisle have drawn their last 4 matches, but Jason Kennedy clearly wasn't interested in a 5th. He ran onto a great pass from Tom Miller. Rovers' 100% run is over. Carlisle just 4 points from the playoffs with a game in hand.
Rovers dropping points in the north meant the Football League's most southern club were able to move into the vacated top 3 spots. Fresh from a goal on Good Friday, Fleetwood loanee Jamil Matt added to his Plymouth tally 21 minutes in. Matt's arrival was partly to ease the burden on the misfiring Ruben Reid, so when the former won a penalty, the latter gobbled up the chance to score his first after 14 frustrating outings. York's first-half capitulation showed no sign of abating. A 3rd goal conceded in little over 20 first-half minutes. William Boyle's own goal indicative of the visitors' current plight. But Jackie McNamara will at least take some heart from a far more robust second-half showing. Russell Penn tried to prove the writing isn't necessarily on the wall for the Minster men. And there was further hope with 4 minutes to play as Boyle was bundled over and Luke Summerfield, almost 11 years after making his professional debut for Plymouth, made the final few minutes tense for his old side, but his current one have 7 games to rescue a 7-point deficit.
Obviously we were 3-0 up at half-time and we've allowed a soft goal in the second half and then give away a penalty. But overall it's important that you get the 3 points, and we probably could have scored more goals today.
Only bottom side Dagenham and Redbridge have won fewer home games than Newport this season, and when you see defending like this from Danny Holmes, you can understand why. Billy Key able to profit. He's now been involved in 30 league goals this season, more than any other player in the top 4 tiers. And 2 minutes later, John Coleman's side had all 3 points. Josh Windass back in the side after almost 3 months out injured, scoring the second. Coleman wants his side to emulate Eddie Izzard's endurance in his marathons. In this sprint to the finish, Accrington remain 1 point from the top 3.
So the Northampton going 2 goals down against Mansfield, and it was another game, Darren, that turned on a red card. Do you think the red card was rightly given in this case?
I think there was more than just a tangle of legs there. Again, you've got to look at the force. And from the eye, straight away, it looks like it's a red for me.
So Jamie Maguire gets sent off for that incident. And also, they managed to get back into the game, Northampton. We saw them do it again against Stevenage last week, and they've shown that they've got that resilient spirit.
Yeah, it is, but I have to say it looks a bit harsh on Christian. I'll be disappointed, and I'll be disappointed if I was Adam as well as a manager, because, you know, that looked, you know, could have given the other way. Exactly.
Get back into the game. Ricky Holmes' penalty after that foul by Christian Pearce, and then John Marcus with the equaliser for them. I mean, I know you're saying that the penalty was soft, and you could feel aggrieved that if you were a Mansfield fan that it was given against you. But for Northampton to be able to do that, you know, last week again against Stevenage, do it again this time round, it just shows you what they've got with that team. And you talked about belief earlier. If you're top of the league and you're pushing forward, it just makes it that bit easier, doesn't it?
They're carrying real momentum, and you know, when you're at the top, it's important you deal with that pressure of being at the top. And they're certainly showing, certainly from a manager and a squad, they can deal with that.
What about for Carlisle being able to get the win against Bristol Rovers? I mean, hugely important for them as well, wasn't it?
I think it just goes to show what a fantastic result ours was. Yeah, it's a great run from Kennedy. He's a good player. He played very well at our place, and you know, they put a lot of balls into the 18-yard box, and it's difficult to defend against, but it's a fantastic result for Carlisle.
Absolutely.
Fantastic result, terrific finish. Right, stay with us for more League 2 action coming up. Barnett's John O'Kindi made a mess of this penalty against Exeter on Friday, oh dear. But did he make amends with this one? A 96-minute chance to win the game against Luton today.
Hello, welcome back to Football League tonight. And there are still 4 matches to bring you from Sky Bet League 2.
So let's do that. Wigan were holding on to the last playoff spot after a win over Mansfield last Friday. Today they went to Notts County, who marked Mark Cooper's first match in charge with a heavy defeat at Portsmouth.
County's new boss blamed ridiculous defensive errors for their hammering at Fratton Park, but the strikers aren't flawless either. John Stead's effort blocked by his teammate Adam Campbell. County's 35-year-old fitness coach Mike Edwards played at the back, one of 5 changes from Friday. Scott Loach's save from Paul Hayes summed up a more solid defensive display. Mark Cooper had called for County's players to take responsibility after 4 straight defeats. Isel McLeod did just that, and might have wished that he hadn't. Heads in hands all round Meadow Lane, but a point and clean sheet is progress. Wickham happy enough too, especially once Ryan Alsop saved from Hayden Hollis in stoppage time.
Orient's promotion hopes have taken a bashing this Easter. Here the O's ran into a resurgent Hartlepool, who have hit form under Craig Hignett. Billy Painter had them ahead in East London, having already had 1 disallowed. Hignett has encouraged a more attacking style at Hartlepool. Nathan Thomas has been a big part of that. He clinched Pool's 4th win from 6 unbeaten matches, a run that has almost secured safety. By contrast, the O's couldn't manage a single goal over Easter. They claimed handball when Jerome Bingham-Williams' header struck Nicky Featherstone on the goal line, but had to make do with another corner. From it, the Crystal Palace loanee went even closer. Bingham-Williams denied by Trevor Carson this time. It's back-to-back defeats for Orient, who missed the chance to return to the top 7.
Barnet's home record ranks alongside those teams battling for promotion. It's their away form that's kept them in the bottom half of the table. Luke Gambin gave them the lead with his first at the Hive this season. Nathan Jones' Luton side have won 5 of their last 6 and were after their 4th away win on the trot. Glenn Ray, on loan from Brighton, denied on the line by James Pearson. This match marked Barnet's biggest gate of the season so far, almost half of them Luton fans, and they were celebrating 5 minutes from time when Cameron McGeehan pounced on a rebound to score his 13th of this campaign. But there was time for late drama when Scott Cuthbert was adjudged to have handled the ball in the 5th minute of injury time. John Akinde missed from the spot on Friday. No mistake here, and it gives Barnet their first ever win over Luton.
A few of League Two's promotion hunters might just be wary of Exeter poaching one of their playoff places. Ollie Watkins denied superbly by Crawley's Callum Preston. Watkins then weaved between several before Jake Taylor, who 3 years ago was a Crawley loanee, dished out the first telling blow to his old side. Even when the Red Devils finally roused themselves from their slumber, they were met by the sharp reactions of Bobby Olejnik, denying first Gwion Edwards and then centre-half Sonny Bradley as Crawley looked for their first ever win over the visitors. But Exeter's reliance on nurturing talent has been essential. 20-year-old Watkins is proving to be the latest to bear fruit for the Grecians. This is 4th goal in 6 games. Paul Tisdale's side now just 5 points short of the top 6.
Dagenham and Redbridge haven't played this weekend, so they stay bottom of the Football League. York are 3 points better off, but they failed to close the 7-point gap on Stevenage, who also didn't have a game today. Yeovil, 11 clear of the drop zone.
We'll talk about that in just a second. At the top of the table, Northampton stay 13 points above Oxford in second. Plymouth have moved back into the automatic promotion places. Accrington 4th. Bristol Rovers fall to 5th. Portsmouth and Wycombe complete those playoff spots. So, Darren, 7 wins in 18 since you took over. It was 7 in the previous, 46? How on earth have you managed that? What is the Darren way?
I knew the environment I was working in. I think that helped. But I had to change it, and I had to change it quick, and it was my first opportunity as a manager, one that I was going to relish, but there was no room for error. I had no time, and I had won football matches, and I had to keep it simple. And I've got to thank the players because everything that I've tried to put in place, they followed me in what I've asked for, and there's been a drastic turnaround, and I think when you get that, I kept talking to the players about sense it, see it, feel it, and then trying to get the supporters on board. And we got it. And I feel they've got that feeling back. They're watching entertaining football. It's difficult at a club like Yeovil when it has spent 2 years of losing. And it's a club that I've got a lot of pride and a lot of heart for because I've been at the club a long time, and there's a lot of loyal people behind the scenes, and their careers would have been affected if the dreaded conference calls you, and I don't want that to happen.
Well, let's have a look at what you've done since the turn of the year. On this graphic here, this is points per game in 2016. That's terrific form.
It is, and the credit's got to go to the players as well because I wanted them to become winners, and they had to become winners overnight. And
because it's worth pointing out that these are the same players. You didn't have a transfer window to operate in.
No, the window was closed, and there was probably about 30 or 40 managers all lined up to take my job, and because it is a fantastic football club, and it's a club that it's got a lot of history, and to lose that history in a short space of time, when Leicester at the top of the Premier League, and not so long ago we was competing against Leicester. So it shows in a short space of time what can actually happen at a football club if you get it wrong. And I've tried to change that, and the players have got to take a lot of credit for certainly the wins.
Well, just listening to you, I can sense your passion and indeed how confident you are that you will keep this club in the Football League. That's it from us tonight. Our thanks go to Darren. Good luck with the rest of your season.
Yeah, we are back with a full programme of Football League action at 9 o'clock, usual time on Saturday. But we'll leave you tonight with some 60 football from Scunthorpe. Bye-bye.